for game number 5. It is just very fitting that they ended up getting this here. And now I feel like it all hinges on those ex-veterans that we talked about, like Meride, like Hankono, and even Modern there with his experience on Tempest to figure out how to turn the momentum back into their favor.
I'm not going to lie. The play from Hooligan the last few games is a far cry from those first 2 games. He is putting this team on his back. Jongha allowing everybody else to make the plays. But make no mistake about it, Hooligan is the one that is leading the charge in a lot of these initiations. But the calls that are being made, I mean, you shared some info with us about how Jongha, right before, you know, that last fight, he literally just yells out, "Go!" Right?
Yes,
and that's
he
where
screamed that out to the audience. Everyone heard it around here.
It's great. I mean, to see this energy come alive for this team. Obviously, we know where Hooligan's energy is there, but having Jongha be that supportive voice, it's one thing that we talked to them earlier this week. Obviously, Jongha is their late game shot caller on those crucial decisions, and it's definitely paying off for them. But I tell you what, I crossed paths with several of the players. Everybody had different expressions. Jongha's expression, the same as it always is.
Neutral, man.
Literally nothing. I mean, the man shows no emotions,
like
whether it's good or bad. He's ready to go, and that means, you know, you've got somebody very experienced and very battle-tested there. And speaking of battle-tested, we're going to find out where these teams will be battling off or who they're going to be battling off with as it's time for the draft here, game number 5. We're going to find out who's going to be taking 3rd place or higher, or who's going to be sitting in 4th. And BlossoM, you know they want to get to 3rd.
And before we go through the pick bands, all the fancy things, you know, we know that this is battleground number 1 for Ballistix, but there is so much top lane priority for the Korean teams when it comes to Dragonshire here that the drafting, I feel like, especially for a lot of Western teams and audiences, yes, we do know that the pressure towards the top half of the battleground is relevant in the early to mid game, but it is a very different beast here, and I think that's going to come to light when it comes to some of the pick priorities, especially in that off lane, which has been absolutely crucial between Jongha and Wiz there for these teams.
I think that's exactly why Ballistix started off with the Thrall, the Haka. They wanted to grab the Haka for sure on that map. Same for this map. Jongha excels on this map, just pushing the top lane. Once you have the top 4 down, you have so much lane control, the wave control on the top. You can soak so easily after that point as well. But Wiz, you can't take out his Zeratul play as well. He goes out and he makes a VP, and if they have the Diablo to pair up with the APOC, I think they can go towards that path. And Korea does not really ban too much Maiev on this map. Perfectly pairs up with the VP APOC combo. I think they can still pull that off here.
Jimmy Raynor will be the ban. Of course, we'll see if Phoenix and Hanzo come into the later parts, but we already know Ballistix has been willing to go into the Vala, and whether we see much Maiev or not, Ballistix says we don't want to see any of it. G-Clap is, that's going to be the 2nd ban, but Diablo, high priority for both these teams, and Hankono snap blocks that in.
I think that means a lot more, considering I feel like a lot of the picks in this series are based on the comfort and the impact that these players can have and how good they're feeling within those. And being able to remove something from Hooligan is going to help them a little bit. It's not enough, as there is still the Murden opportunity, still even in a new bracket if they would like to make that happen. But I think it's a very good opener here for BlossoM, and I expect to see the same thing in the 1-2 from Ballistix. As we get the same rotation to Haka Thrall here, double solo with the tri-lane pressure, and again, focusing towards top.
We didn't expect that last game. We get it again here. It seems like they found a formula they want to continue with, and BlossoM, see what their answer is going to be. It's not like they got smashed last game, but it was definitely a game which Ballistix had control of.
Well, they thought Blaze was the answer. The bunker, if you go in, you can be safe. But once you're surrounded around the bunker, you can't really get out. So they're changing the pattern, bringing out Kerosene for themselves so that Diablo can have an easier time escaping once he charges in.
I think it's also very important, you know, knowing that it's going to be Meride. I feel like it's one of his best supports, high impact. It's also really good with any of the 2v2, 3v3 skirmishes we see on Dragonshire, so it accents it there as well. I really like the draft here from both of the teams so far. So we're trickling in here towards that 3rd ban. What do we get?
Meride highlights on Kerosene. There were plenty of them back in the day. You know, Garrosh has had priority for Ballistix, but I really like the Murden play last game, and Garrosh obviously suffers from that percentage-based damage. If Diablo does find that isolation, and Meride can come in for the kill, I'm curious if BlossoM is going to target that or whether they're willing to let that through and deal with what they get, because obviously they have a lot of control between the Diablo and the high impact of Kerosene. We'll see what comes in here in a moment.
It's not too common, but BlossoM did pull a Medivh comp into this map with Diablo Kerosene. They can just dive in and get the pull out,
I like
which
that
is not too
yeah.
common from Eastern, but it has happened from Modern being on that Medivh. So just to keep that in mind.
And for everybody at home wondering why that is so high impacted, we know Anubarak is going to be an opportunity for Ballistix. It doesn't put them in a lose-lose scenario on the Warrior Choke, but again, based on that individual, who's going to be the highest impact and the comforts, removing Diablo and the Murden as an option for Honkono is absolutely going to be a setback here, as we see that is the Anubarak picked up. But on the idea of comforts, we go way back here to Magi on his Stukov, going to be clutching it out here for Ballistix.
That is not going to be so easy. They still need to find that. And Junkrat is open. Whenever you have the portal, they just put that mine right on top and displaces them from going into the portal or out of portal when they want to change DC.
There it is.
So we do have Wiz going that's there to finally.
Even Honkono is clapping about it.
One really cool thing about BlossoM, when you look at their composition, using the thought process, right, that both of these are concerned with a 1-3-1. And what I mean by that is Thrall, Dahaka, both great individual solo laners with the 3-man kill potential, which is Anubarak, Stukov, plus whatever backliner is the last pick. But when you look at BlossoM, they have the same thing, but they have a diverse adjustment in the fact that they do not have only one solo laner, or even two for that matter. They can tri-lane and kind of cycle it, not only because of the Phoenix Siege, but Zeratul can be a great independent laner, Phoenix can be an independent laner, and so can Yrel. So it puts it in a situation to where they have more diverse and fluid laning opportunities than Ballistix. I don't think it's enough to be, the end of the world in this game, but if they can abuse that, and specifically I think Meriday is going to be the important factor on where those picks come in that fluidity, again, in the laning phase.
We end up with a Greymane pick, not a Hanzo, which I might have expected, but that does give you a tankier option on the backline, but it also gives you that blow-up potential. We know the Anubarak charge into a Lurking Arm is there. When you can add a Curse Bullet onto a Diablo, you can rip that hero apart. It will be Meriday post-16 with those cleanses to really apply that support. We don't see a whole lot of Divine Palm, but maybe this is the time to consider it.
Well, Divine Palm, because of Ardent Defender, because their Koreans are so good at just ignoring damage, ignoring target, Palm was one, but when we're just used to that defender, I mean, I don't think Palm is a good option here, where they will just ignore it, and right when it ends, they will just get the kill right after. So 7-sided still, I think, is a better choice, just giving off more damage, and just knowing the player, Meriday, he is a very aggressive player. He would go in, he would get the kill. I think it's nearly 100% 7-sided in this case, though.
It's Korea. It's 7-sided. I don't even think they have Divine Palm in Korea, maybe? It's rare, but there's Martin. Hello, Martin.
Nice little fan out there. As you see, it's a packed crowd here for Game 5 between Ballistix and BlossoM. I'm just trying to figure out, I'm so scared knowing, I think the drafting and rotations for BlossoM, I think, was clever. I think they have a lot going for them, but I'm still very, very concerned at the fact that this is the home turf for Ballistix. If you're looking at the two when it comes to their history onto the battleground, and I just don't know if they have the independent decision-making to be able to hold their own as we get the votes coming in 53-47.
Finally.
That's pretty close.
But it's close. You bring up a good point earlier about diving the priority on the top lane, the Anubarak. We see a lot of Korean teams do that. We also see priority on the night camps early so they can soften that up and set up opportunities again later, but try and get that damage. I am curious, though, with this draft, obviously the Greymane has great sieging potential, but with this setup, it almost seems like maybe you can use that Thrall for that mid-bottom soak if you can complete Echo early, and then use that Greymane to flex to the top to get some of that early sieging damage. So the early rotation is going to be really keeping an eye on for Ballistix.
Yeah, that's a great point that you bring up, and that was part of the reason I was trying to highlight that I like the fact that BlossoM feels like they've got that one extra element to adjust to things, because the minute you find yourself being overly responsive, and normally that's when you find yourself at a deficit with the laning opportunities, then you can't really answer to your opponent, and you're always 10 seconds behind it. In Dragonshire, that means a lot more than most battlegrounds.
G-Clef, final thoughts?
Well, I do think BlossoM certainly has a better one. Last time they were really having a hard time with Sundering, and they couldn't really save the teammate because they didn't have the dashes or the blinks or the warps. Now they do. Every single one of the members from BlossoM, they have all the escaping tools that they have, well, except for Diablo after he charges in. But now, Thrall is going to be less of a matter for them. I think this is a better matchup for BlossoM, but Ballistix, they certainly do have a good draft as well.
Well, we're going to see the battle of wills here. Game number 5, Ballistix versus Team BlossoM, Dragonshire. It's time to find out who our winner is going to be.
The legends of old here from Korea between Honkono, Meriday, and Modern there on the roster of BlossoM. They were one game away from making competitive heroes history and now face a reverse sweep. Modern will be on the Phoenix. We have Wiz playing Yrel, Meriday on his legendary Karzin, Gondar playing Zeratul, and Honkono on Diablo.
on the other side will be that of Ballistix. Magi going to be the follow-up there, potentially the initiator on the Stukov. SDE on Thrall. Jongha one more time on Dahaka. Hooligan on Anubarak, and SC on the Greymane.
3-2 split for Ballistix. Far more aggressive opener whenever you go through the Bermuda Triangle and look for the kill potential like that from Ballistix, showing that they are very offensive-minded, even looking for the double claps and the blind impale. That is a very common strategy, but it's one common that's showing that we're ready to battle, we're going to be bringing the fight, and that's what I want to see here from Ballistix.
Right now, they actually find Maryday. Maryday needs a dash target. Hankono comes over. Like I say, Jongha is in drag range almost momentarily, but does make it out alive. There's going to be the clear. It's the most important part is going to be that camp priority early in the game and the laning setup. And right now, Dreadnought, it is going to be the Thrall in that bottom lane, which means Greymane gives you that faster clear on the camp and can give you that race on the top.
And before all that kind of racing begins, hold up the collapse here as we see the Shadow Charge. A lot of damage there from Jongha. Maryday gets the double dash, able to dodge the Spirit thrown out there from SDE. And things are just fine for now. Here is the racing you were talking about. What I want to bring up is with that 1-3-1, the kill potential available, there is something really cool too with BlossoM in the Karzim Zeratul duo and the follow-up onto Diablo. We've seen Diablo Shadow Charge with the follow-up and Karzim left and right throughout the entire tournament. But the difference between these two is that Zeratul has its own raw blink, which is always going to provide a dash target for Maryday. So the actual offensive capabilities of these two, as long as he has a double dash, is significantly higher than most kind of, again, 1-3-1 Karzim compositions.
Well, they're looking for early kills as Ballistix. They got off hot in the last 2 games. They're looking to repeat a lot of that. Instead of going for that early night camp, it looks like they're going to turn their attention to the bot lane. So Ballistix trying to shake things up a little bit before they turn their attention to the top lane. And right now, they have the Siege Giants down. See if they try and push behind this.
Yeah, BlossoM was willing to match the Giants on bottom, but not being willing to defend them, nor look for a siege advantage on the top half of the battleground. This is, I can't help but feel like show one of the missed experiences of maybe BlossoM on the battleground, though. Jongha is going to get flipped over here. We see Modern coming in with the Plasma Cutter. The passive is popped. He brush docks or burrows charge, or excuse me, tunnels under the ground. Gets the drag. Hankono, will he be able to keep himself alive? He's got the armor. He Shadow Charges out, but he goes down. Wiz trying to kite. He hits the hammer, and BlossoM controls both shrines as well here, J-House.
Yeah, Zeratul's on point. Should be able to complete that channel unless Anubarak gets an interrupt. Does not get the interrupt. So BlossoM, despite losing a member, does get the first DK. We are looking at a very early DK at 2.5 minutes, but if you can get structures down, it's #worth every day.
It's going to provide a lot when it comes to those rotation concerns, especially because Ballistix was really able to get at least set a lot of that tempo for the first couple there in the transitions between mid and top with Magi and that lurking arm clear. Not as much value here out of the Dragon Knight as I might have would have liked to see. I was just going to say, you know, you can poke and prod up front, but not waiting for enough time for the Karzim to come back online. So it's really merely kind of buying time here. But the one kill for Ballistix does not net them at least an advantage yet.
Anubarak he is on boot over. See,
he's got one burrow charge. No way.
Does. Oh! The ally goes over. Hooligan does get the heal, does get the stun. But Maryday shows why he is a playmaker. Gets that ally over the wall, finds the Anubarak, helps confirm that kill.
And they waste no time.
Yeah, Ballistix really tried to hold on there. We actually have Greymane and Urel mid. I'm trying to keep an eye on that because Dahaka is alone at the top, but this push in the bottom will definitely have some value in a moment.
BlossoM need to find more opportunities to be able to get the siege and front walls down. I feel like their composition, whenever you get the double front wall or any of the front walls, their kill potential is going to drastically increase because Magi won't be able to do exactly what he's doing there. He is a lot of the anti-siege and anti-honestly playmaking. As you see, Maryday trying to threaten him back there, not allow that to happen. And I would like to see more and more threat there towards Magi and things of the like on Ballistix for BlossoM as this game aggresses here. And now, once the front wall down, looking to move up to the fort.
I believe ST might have been on that night camp and ended up having to make that rotation down because they needed the defense. That night camp is picked up on the top. There's going to be the hammer on the Hooligan, who responds with an impale of his own. Says maybe Hankono's in the bush. I'm just going to go ahead and brush Stalker out for safety.
Throw with the transition towards the top is going to demand some kind of response. Ballistix knows this, and they pick up the Giants. Ideally, Hooligan would be there a little bit earlier to get that stall. That was a couple seconds too late, and there you see, there's the brush stock. That was all set up because of that night camp on the top half of the battleground, and it was a clever play from Ballistix, but again, very foretold in why BlossoM able to respond well here. They will have to deal with getting the clear over those bottom giants, but I would say definitely a tempo and a bit more control in favor of Ballistix still here in the early stages.
Always got to hit him with that variant with question mark spray to let him know what's up. But either way, Siege Camp now here in the bottom. SDE goes in on the Thrall, trying to get some structure damage down. It's going to be one tower. Outside, that DK did not accomplish much. The Night Camp in the bottom obviously helped them get the wall down, but the experience still very even in this game.
Urel and Zertul here getting the clear is a little bit too late. When I say a little bit, I mean a lot of it. There is going to be a 4-man collapse down below, and it's a 3-2 split, and nobody's going to make anything happen. Great job there. Hooligan, though, gets Shadow Charge back. Mary Day going to throw down the punch. The root, as you said, Warp is going to be there for Modern.
It is interrupted. He got interrupted by the root.
He can't get out. And he's going to go down there. Great punishment by Ballistix there because of the green camp.
He's going to see if he can land another Drek, see if they can get another kill. There's going to be a dash out, the knock up there from the Impale. Not able to get any bit more, but with the Shrine control, we'll see as Diablo is starting to make his way up, see if they can maybe get a Shrine capture. The DK capture is SE, just creating space, creating room.
They're trying to threaten on the bottom half. Yeah, if Honkono can maybe get another interrupt, they might be able to get the kill on the bottom half there to Jungha, but not going to be the case. And now we see Ballistix pick themselves up their very first Dragonite here and round that heroic advantage here with the level 10 spike. Flailing Swipe and Sundering are the selection here, and no surprise when looking at the rest of the heroics there. Hooligan lands the 2-man impale along with the drag follow-up. Urel might not be able to make it out. She's got to hit the hammer, but with isolation landing, she is blind, can't get out of the corner, and another kill for Ballistix.
Things starting to heat up again here for Ballistix as another stun comes in. Mary Day just able to dash to the minions. The boot is going to go there. He hits him with the spray on the way out, knowing you're not getting this kill. Having a little bit of fun along the way. Mary Day, the playmaker there. Remember, Greymane is the one in this, so he is that kill threat.
Yeah, there's the void.
The
he got into it. He can't APOC. Oh my goodness, they can't APOC follow up. That was a huge misstep there by BlossoM, and now they have no opportunity. There comes out the APOC. They're trying to get the track down on the Mahi. With the flailing swipe, he keeps himself alive. The impale onto Honkono, and it is a kill and a wipe there by Ballistix. Oh my J-How, that was so close to a great response by BlossoM.
A catastrophic mistake there by BlossoM, and now Ballistix 4 kills to 1 in control. They're looking for more. Honkono, he's going to be met. There's going to be the stun. Do we get the follow-up damage? Instead, it's just going to be the fort falling down as Gondar and team come in for cleanup duty. But a 1-level lead now has been established by Ballistix. Still anybody's game. It's only the mid-fort, but definitely the presence of Ballistix being felt.
And we have constantly seen that Ballistix has been winning in rotations. Even when they do not end up getting a kill, they are very much 5 to 10 seconds ahead. And I was talking about BlossoM. They have diverse laning opportunities with their composition, but they aren't making them happen. And in fact, they're the ones constantly behind, and they cannot let that happen anymore. We are rounding that breaking point that if the 13 spike happens and BlossoM keeps repeating what we've seen for the first 8 minutes, it very likely is going to be a 3 to 2 level lead, snowball out of control. Hooligan, though, out too far, along with the 7-sided, they laid down their lurking arm, and it allows him to get the retreat.
Oh, he's going back in. Jungha comes in with the brush talker, and we're ready to go. Cocoon is out. There goes the curse bullet. They're trying to rip these members apart. Honkono, he's getting slapped into a corner.
Look at
SE, Sunder! The Sunder comes in. That's going to be a second member down. Gondar finding his way out, but finds his way back in. 4 members down. Make it 5 as Wiz is going to fall here in just a moment, and it is a 5-man team wipe for Ballistix.
SDE, the legend with that flank. Urel and him making the transition down, but instead of flanking and showing his positioning, he hides right there over that moon shrine, throw the Sunder over the wall and say, not escaping today here, BlossoM. And with that, that was the window I was talking about. Ballistix now in absolute control here to earn themselves this reverse sweep and move on to try and take out Tempest.
It's going to be a second DK in favor of Ballistix in just a moment. They have the lead. They're going to put Dahaka in this, using that Brush Stalker. It looks like they're also going to proc this camp at the top right, just trying to get maximum value in any way possible. Have that push the top lane while we could conceivably see, oh, the Shadow Dagger just missed onto Dahaka. Almost got the interrupt there. But now we do see that camp will be picked up momentarily, but the DK will buy time, start to move in, look towards the well, not much else. With BlossoM, this is dangerous territory in a choke point, only the fort standing there with the DK. Very, very dangerous to engage.
Honkono is not going to make it out there as the cursed bullet ends up going down. Look at that,
Rooted.
along with the cocoon. Merryday now is stuck in a terrible position. 7-sided strike will be available maybe to help him survive if he needs it. They're sundering. Pushes Merryday once more. Third dash there along with the flaming swipe. They're all on the bridge of death there. Ardent Defender ends up getting popped. And Ballistix established dominance there onto their territory. Retreat back. Pick up the fort. 16 talents here just around the corner. And still 25 seconds there on this DK.
There's going to be another stun. You can see Moggy's trying to make every play that he can, trying to get that 13 proc, trying to get that root silence, everything in those plays. But the DK now working towards it with only 13 seconds left, trying to get some damage in, gives Merryday the boot, kicking their support away, and actually a very distant way. So they don't get much down there, but we are looking at a 3.5 level lead in favor of Ballistix, and things starting to look grim for BlossoM.
This is Ballistix doing what they do so very best. The little victories in the early game snowballing to the later stages. Hooligan now investigating here. The night camp pickup. They get the drag along with the cursed bullet. Honkono trying to survive. They drop the the APOC. They land on a 4, but already losing Hooligan. Here comes out the salvo.
The salvo is going to push out the damage. Hooligan somehow survives for now, but doesn't make it as Merryday comes in for the kill, and now they are in pursuit. Gondar gets rooted there. Gondar making plays on this Zeratul. It's a double kill right now, but now the Sunder comes in. It's a 2-for-2 exchange. SDE somehow surviving, and now Modern looking to trade out, and Merryday comes in for the kill shot.
Jonga trying to get the burrow out, and he actually will be able to brush tuck. It's so very close, but nobody going to try and hunt that one down. BlossoM, it is a small time frame where they have gained themselves an advantage with that skirmish, but they need to paint this puppy blue, and more importantly, look towards that next Dragonite phase. They can prep these lanes perfectly to set up for a Dragonite advantage, but without a global advantage, they are always going to be slightly onto the back foot, and judging by how the mercenary control has been at the first stages of this game, I'm not sure BlossoM know how to manipulate this map to where Ballistix can't just go, we're still going to take an even trade fight, and again, repeat what we've seen for the first 12 minutes.
Put this into perspective, because Zeratul is going to have a huge power spike at 16. That moment that he was in that last team fight had a major impact in getting those first few kills to turn that for them. Post 16, that extra cleave damage and cooldown could look even more terrifying for the likes of Ballistix as they try and hold on here. But BlossoM, through those kills, did have a large amount of experience in that comeback experience, and now only find themselves down just a level and a half, 2 levels, but more importantly, getting them closer to that 16 talent.
This is what I was talking about with the lane preparation. The giant pressure on bottom along with the Knights. They can force the 16 advantage up here and then are able to control the top camp, but they're not going to be able to choose the fight over the objective.
I don't know about this.
Hold up, flip over, still no 16 yet. 5 members collapsing here towards the top lane. BlossoM, if they don't get that forward, they don't have 16 talents here. And look at this full collapse from Ballistix here.
The root, the stun, the follow-up, can it come in? They got to get the camps down, and they almost have just 2 remaining. So the ford's not there. There's going to be the drag. That's going to land. The Ardent Defender is able to land. No silence to follow that up just yet. The Sunder goes down. Gondar somehow surviving for now.
They have to hit a Void if they have any chance of surviving this. They end up landing that drag. Now Gondar is stuck on an island. He drops himself to Void Prison. They're getting the heals out from Merryday. He actually teleports and survives, but it's going to come at the cost here of Wiz, doing his best to hold his own. 2 members of BlossoM gone for 30 seconds here. Already getting the brush stock down below. Thrall backing up for top shrine, and this is absolutely a Dragonite, J-How.
Yeah, and now with these death timers, everything starting to mount against BlossoM. We saw them start to come back, but maybe stayed too long in the top. Now with this DK, it could be Ballistix looking to not just take some minor structures, but starting to take keeps. And if things get out of control, another kill comes in, then maybe it's lights out, game over, and Ballistix will complete the reverse sweep. For now, a cautious, disciplined approach. So we also see Hooligan completing that regen master for some extra XP.
But you can feel the Eastern Clash ballistic magic in the air here with the Dragonite now sieging up, breaking the base here of BlossoM. 19 just around the corner. Will BlossoM try to force the hand without that 20 spike advantage? Top wave has already been kind of prepped there to eventually be a problem over the next 40 seconds. Wiz gives everyone the armor here as Ballistix move up to the keep.
Yeah, Modern has done his job of trying to poke this down. Diablo stacked on souls again. Keep not yet down. Minion wave still a ways away. If they want to wait for that, they can continue with the fire coming out from the Dragonite to pepper this down slowly. This will give them a significant advantage with the global and the keep advantage on Dragonshire. Is normally pretty condemning. shouldn't be able to end the game, but they definitely take down a keep and establish control here as they're also rounding 20.
Honkono trying to punish this, though. They think they can get Jung Ha outside of the Dragon Knight, possibly. It's a full 5-man rotation. Phoenix even willing to take an awkward positioning there with the minions. They end up getting the full retreat. Ballistix do not have the 20 spike yet, but you know that Giant Camp is going to be one of the easier opportunities, or the Night Camp. Either way, for Ballistix to start a fight. So BlossoM want to make something happen. It's very much got to be with trying to catch off a pick here or there around those. As you see SDE waiting with that Bolt Sundering, that's one of the best Bolt Sundering situations you can have because you can't retreat from it. It pushes you away, and if anybody on BlossoM stays out that far, they have to be careful.
Cocoon is out. See if we get the follow-up. There's going to be the Cocoon starting to go down. This is a stacked Diablo, but the lurking arm is under. The cleanse is going to be there, but the isolation is going to be there. The Sunder comes in. Gondar the first to fall. Honkono trying to survive. It could be the last fight as Modern. He's trying to walk away from this, but the attention on the front line. APOC is down, buying time as BlossoM trying to hold on to their tournament lives.
7-sided dropped by Mary Day there, and he will be able to survive a little bit longer as Honkono actually goes down. The Souls will bring him back. Arctic Defender is merely just buying time and stopping what seems like the inevitable here, as there are still only 20 seconds until Void Prison will be there to stall this out. Ballistix seem to be doing the impossible here and trying to get the reverse sweep. They throw out the salvo. Honkono dives down to the back lane. They land the Dragon to Modern.
He gets the blink out with that cleanse available to him, but Honkono, he's going to fall. Salvo? 3 members down. Salvo comes out 5 seconds before Zeratul is here, but the follow-up kill, that could be the final nail in the coffin. SCSE on the court. Ballistix sending it to the Game 5 all the way, have completed the reverse sweep in dramatic fashion and have come back and kept their lives afloat here in improbable fashion against Team BlossoM.
Ballistix keep the three-peat Eastern Clash dream alive in what seems like the most unheard of circumstances here when everything was against them. I feel like the biggest enemy probably was that within their shoulders here, you know, sitting on top of their shoulders, because very much they were in their own heads, but they hold on, showing why they are one of the most experienced and impressive rosters that we have at HGC.
They still stand on, and BlossoM finally, it was their chance. They had lots of chances. They were up 2-0. But they have failed again to get into that top 3. BlossoM moving on. They are just showing that they're back-to-back Eastern Clash champions and what they can do in those clutch moments. They just brought it out. They had all the momentum together, starting from the Vala, taking off game number 5, which was basically a dominant game. They had 3.5 level lead the entire game once they started moving on.
Just think about the drafts the last 2 games. If you tell me coming into this tournament that Ballistix is going to draft Dahaka Thrall with their first 2 picks, not 1 game, but 2 games in a row, I would have said you're